I just been watching this documentary about AI, and they've interviewed all the CEOs of the major AI companies, and they all seem to say sort of they're not super confident that this is going to end well. And it all comes down to like all the same questions, like is humanity mature enough to handle this? Like, are we intelligent enough to deal with this? Are we able to sort of work together as a planet, like across governments, across nations, to sign some type of, slow down slash peace slash pause deal, just like we did with nuclear armaments after the Second World War? Like, that was viewed as such a threat to humanity that there was some degree of collaboration to sort of bring that under control. That's what's required for AI, because the threat is at least as big, if not bigger, than the nuclear threat. Or, the same, I guess, in that it's sort of total destruction is the potential threat. And the collaboration isn't there yet. Maybe it could come, if people realize the seriousness of this, which I don't think most people do. But, um, it, it forces all of these issues that I'm talking about, like, to the forefront of the conversation. Like, what is it to be truly intelligent? What is it to be truly mature? What is it to be truly wise as a species? What can we do to stop being so destructive? And ultimately, it's about disidentifying from our thoughts and our emotions. Like, we create these identities out of our thoughts and our emotions. And then it's when you create that identity, then your life becomes about me, because this voice in your head, you believe it's you. So it comes about me, and you're pursuing what you want all the time and what's in it for you all the time. And if you multiply that up by 8 billion, you get the insane amount of conflict that is in the world today. And human beings are a natural species like all the other animals out there. And in our truly natural state, and this is what all the spiritual stuff is about, but it's just shrouded in so much sort of bullshit and complexity and con men dressed up in white robes with beards and like all sorts of garbage. But like the point of it all really is like, we're just like all these other animals. Like, we're an animal, we're part of nature. And when we're in our natural, healthy, functional state, we live in harmony with nature as well. But when we're in this state where we've entered this psychological age over the past 300 or 400 years, as a result of the sort of explosion of rationality and science in the human experience, which just didn't, exist in quite the same way before, coming out of the dark ages, especially, it's like, oh, reason can solve all our problems. And that's been the story of the last 400 years. And then you have Freud and Jung and, diving ever more deeply into, me and my problems and, how do I solve the problem of me and make my life better. The concept of an autobiography has only been around for like 200 years or so. Like, if you look at the Google scanning of historical books, autobiographies were really not a thing until recently. Like, people have only thought that their own life story is interesting enough to tell to other people in the past couple of 100 years. Like, before that, life was just so much more community centric, and we had just very different sense of identity. But anyway, the more you're investing in the story of you and your emotions and everything that you carry from the past and your resentment about this guy who did this to me, or I didn't get that I wanted, or, I wish I hadn't done this, or I feel so guilty about that. Like, all this emotional baggage that we carry around from the past and all of this identification with like me and my problems and I have to be right. Like, that's what creates all the dysfunction on this planet. And, these people in this commenting on this trailer, commenting on this line where it said, well, if we can be the most mature version of ourselves, maybe we can get through this. Well, we can't be the most mature version of ourselves while we're still identified with thinking and while we're still being emotionally reactive to stuff. But unfortunately, everywhere you go in the whole world is telling you to be identified with thinking that it's all about you and what you want and what you get in order to be happy, and to be emotionally reactive. Like, the internet runs off emotional reactivity. If you react to something, you'll click on it and then you'll get to see it. That's one of the great challenges for me with these videos. It's like, do I try and do something to get some reaction out of people so that you'll click on this? And obviously that would be better because then more people would see this and maybe there would be a blossoming conversation about like how does this species get more intelligent? But I refuse to do that because ultimately it's a lie. Like it's bullshit. So I'm just gonna have my regular crap thumbnails or, production, and I'm not going to try and create emotional stimulation in you. I am going to try and create some type of inspiration, some type of recognition that there's a truth here and that there's something beautiful in that. There's something beautiful in this truth. And we're at this point in history now where if we don't start to recognize a deeper truth, like it may be all over for us. So now is the time to elevate people. So let's get the conversation going. Let's make this happen. Like let's have more intelligent, deeper, more important conversations and not just talk about like about whatever garbage. Like a few years ago, this sort of sense of sort of inner peace and love just sort of started to bubble up in me after like many years of doing meditation and kind of still feeling kind of dysfunctional. And this really started to bubble up on me. And I spent a lot of time sitting on park benches and sitting in churches just for hours at a time, just feeling so full and so peaceful and so beautiful inside myself. And like I needed nothing, just completely fulfilled. And I still feel like that today. Which is one of the reasons I'm starting this channel, because it's such good news. And like, if it's possible for me, it's possible for everyone. But, I was talking to one of my buddies who, has also been meditating and stuff. And, I was able to joke with him about this. It's like, every now and then I would maybe say it to someone like I was having dinner with or whatever, like somebody at work, maybe I'm having a chat with, and I might sort of try and say something a bit more real about how I had this great experience of like peace and love and how, it's changed my life and stuff. And, I was joking with him because like the reaction you normally get is like, yeah, but like, did you see The Apprentice last night or whatever the hell it is on TV these days? Like people aren't interested when you say something like really profound and meaningful like that, and really sort of personal and sort of transformational, and like that points to something really special and beautiful about life. Like they're not interested in that. They'd rather just talk about what they saw on TV or change the subject because I guess they maybe feel uncomfortable. Well, it's time to stop feeling uncomfortable about talking about things that matter. Anyway, there's so much more that could be said. I've been kind of sloppy and lazy with the videos recently. I've been working super hard, so I haven't really had time for stuff. But hopefully, people are still out there, seeing them, a few people, and commenting and stuff. So I'll try and keep going. But thanks for being there. Oh, and my mum has officially joined as a listener. Hi, mum. Great to have you here. You're the greatest. Maybe I'll do a special episode just about my mum, telling everyone how amazing you are. Okay, bye.